So welcome back to another FIFA 20 video. Today we are taking a look at the new squad update that came out for the 29th of October. Now this one is a big squad update. This is the one that brings in the new faces. So even though you've downloaded the title update, you need to apply this squad update to get all the new faces in your game. So alongside that, we're going to be talking about as well the players that got added, removed and edited with this squad update as well. So it should be a good video. Make sure you stay tuned. Now, if you do find this video useful, please leave a thumbs up. It always helps the channel. And if you're new around here and you want to know all the latest FIFA 20 news, updates and more, make sure you subscribe today. We've got about 66% of you guys watching the videos but not subscribed. So do yourselves a favor, hit the subscribe button today. You won't regret it. So this is an important squad update because it does bring in the new faces that you've seen on the channel over the last few days. You need to download this squad update to get these faces, otherwise it won't work. So I'll teach you how to download it now. So I heard there was a bit of a delay with the PlayStation, but I think it's good to go now. What you have to do to apply this squad update is go to Edit Teams, go to Download Updates, click Yes. It'll start downloading the update, and once it's done, you will get all the new faces in the game. So let's start with the players that got removed. Now this is not the full list, this is just the main highlights. You know, I always cover the higher rated players, but check out FIFA for the full list. And basically, once you apply this squad update, these players will be gone from FIFA 20. And we're going to start with Viviano, who is a goalkeeper for Sporting, 33 years old, overall 82, potential 82. And then we move on to Ait El Hajj, who plays for Anderlecht, and he's got an overall of 61, but a potential of 81. Next up, we have Malambi, who is a free agent. I believe FIFA says he's a free agent, but this save he was playing for DC United. And basically, this guy comes in with a 70 overall and an 80 potential. And lastly, a player from Manchester United. I haven't heard of him, maybe he's in the youth team or something. Ercolani, he's 19 years old. I think he got introduced in the last squad update, but now he's gone again. And basically, this guy had an overall of 63 and a potential of 77. So those were my top 4 picks out of this removed section. And obviously, there's way more than these 4, so make sure you check out the full list if you're interested. Next up, we're going to move on to the players that got added. So once you apply the squad update, you will get new players into the game that weren't in FIFA 20 previously. So these are my top 5 picks. There's obviously way more than that. But these are more of the higher rated, higher potential players that got added. So the first one is Reece McClear, who plays for Norwich City, 17 years old. Overall starts at 59, but a potential of 82. Look, he's got some very average stats. You probably need to work with him a bit. Pretty cheap, coming in at 300,000. Next up, we have Aranguiz, who's got a new face now, I believe, as well with the update. So this guy is one of the new face updates. And he plays for FC Dallas, 72 overall with an 81 potential. And his price comes in at 4.3 million. Next up is a Manchester United player. His name is Galbraith, and he's 18 years old, plays as a CDM, 62 overall to start with, potential of 80, not too bad, and some pretty average stats. Price for him is 525. Next up we have a goalkeeper, Archie Mayer, who plays for Norwich as well, 18 years old, 60 overall with an 80 potential, so 20 growth. Not too bad, but pretty average stats. These guys are all average, to be honest. 325 is his price. And last on my list is Fuchs, who plays for Brescia. CDM, 21 years old, overall 69, potential 80, current price 1.5 million. So those are the top 5 best players that got added in this squad update. For the full list, check it out online. Next up, we're going to move on to the players that got edited. So these are the ones where they got their potentials changed, stats changed as well. There's a lot of world-class talent here, so this is a big squad update in terms of like bigger players getting updated. There's too many to cover, so this is not the full list. But these are just the top certain amount, you know. And first up, we have Frankie de Jong, who plays for Barcelona, centre mid, 22 years old. He's got a starting overall of 86 now. That increased from 85, and his potential went from 91 up to 92 as well. So very, very good stats, as you can see. 92 potential, not too bad. Aggression went up, interceptions went up, marking, positioning, reaction, stamina, standing tackle as well. Current price for him is 54 million. Now another Barcelona player, Arthur, got upgraded as well for this one. He got a lot of upgrades, over 15 changes, and pretty much this guy is 22 years old, a centre midfielder. Overall went up from 84 to 85 now, and potential went from 89 up to 90 as well. So another high potential player here. And pretty much he got over 15 upgrades, as you can see there. A lot of green, dribbling, long shots, shot power, long passing curve, too many to name. His price is 45.5 million. Next up, we have Casemiro from Real Madrid, and this guy got some decent amount of upgrades. As you can see, he's got a lot of green, and he's a CDM, 27 years old, and pretty much everyone knows him anyway, but got some good stats. He got an overall upgrade from 87 to 88 now, and his potential went from 89 up to 90 now, so he's got a 90 potential. with this squad update, and he's got a lot of upgrades to stamina, long passing, heading, positioning, shot power, and much more. Current price for him is 56.5 million. Next up we have Marcus Rashford, and by the way, his free kick was fantastic against Chelsea. It reminded me of like a Ronaldo free kick, you know, when he gets it right. And yeah, this guy got some upgrades, well actually one upgrade, and that was to his potential. It went from 88 up to 89 now. The rest of it stayed the same, but as you can see, some great stats as well. Overall stayed the same at 83 as well. And his current value is 32.5 million, 21 years old. Next up, we have a player called Urzi, who plays for Club Atletico Banfield, 19 years old, a left midfielder. And this guy got some upgrades as well. Aggression went up, ball control overall went up from 70 to 71 as well. And his potential went from 88 up to 89 as well. Why haven't I heard of this guy? I don't know. But yeah, he got a lot of upgrades. Too many to mention. As you can see, there's a complete list there. Too many, man. I'm not going to go through all of them, but he got a lot of them. So current price for him is 4.6 million. Could be a good investment, you know, on the left mid position. He's got some good potential. Karim Benzema also got an upgrade. 31 years old, but still getting them upgrades. And pretty much he got a lot of upgrades, to be honest. His potential went from 87 up to 88 now, and his overall went from 87 to 88. Obviously, it's going to decrease pretty quickly given the age. But he got a finishing upgrade, heading accuracy went up, jumping, long passing, long shots, shot power went up, positioning went up as well. So it's good that he got the upgrades, but I think the age is worrying me a little bit. 48 million is his price. Next up we have Christian Romero, who plays for Genoa. Centre back, 21 years old, and he got some decent upgrades as well. Standing tackle went up, sliding. Overall went from 73 up to 74. Marking went up, composure, ball control, and acceleration went up as well. Potential went from 87 up to 88 now as well. And his current price is 10.5 million. Next up is Luis Felipe, who plays for Lazio as a centre-back, 22 years old. And he's upgraded his aggression, ball control, dribbling, interception, long passing, marking. Overall went from 77 up to 78. Potential went from 86 to 87 now. Short passing went up as well. Current price for him is 13 million. Now this guy got a lot of upgrades. Victor Osimhen from Lille. Striker, 20 years old, and he got some decent upgrades. His overall went from 75 up to 76 now. Potential went from 85 up to 87, so he got a +2 there. And his reactions went up, shot power, interceptions, heading, so much more as you can see on the list. Current value for him is 12 million, so he looks like a bargain. Next up we have Martin Odegaard from Real Sociedad, on loan from Real Madrid. And it feels like I've known this guy for ages, and he's only 20 years old, so he was very young when he first came onto the scene. This guy got some upgrades and one or two downgrades, but nothing too major. His overall went up. It went from 78 up to 80 now, and his potential went from 85 up to 87, which is pretty good. He got a lot of upgrades to his vision, sprint speed, position, stamina, long shots, curve, balance. You name it, it's there. There's a lot to mention there. And his current value is 19 million. Next up we have Ruben Diaz from Benfica. And this guy did get a lot of upgrades as well. His agility went up, interceptions went up. His overall went from 80 to 81. Potential went from 86 up to 87. Reactions went up, sliding tackle, sprint speed, and standing tackle went up as well. He's 22 years old, a centre-back with a current value of 20 million. Next up we have Richarlison from Everton, right midfielder, 22 years old. And his overall went from 78 up to 80 now. Potential went from 84 to 86. So yeah, that looks pretty good. And his stamina went up as well. That's pretty much it for him. His current value is 18.5 million. Next up we have Wendell from Sporting, and he did get some decent upgrades. He got some upgrades to his dribbling, shot power, long shot, short passing. His overall went from 77 up to 78. Potential went from 85 up to 86 as well. Finishing went up, reactions, and much more. 22 years old, a centre midfielder, and his current value is 13.5 million. Next up we have Thomas Partey, who plays for Atletico Madrid, centre midfielder, 26 years old. And he got some upgrades to his ball control, interceptions, long passing, long shots. Overall went up from 82 to 83. Potential went from 85 up to 86 now as well. And his current value is 28.5 million. Next up we have Alexander Golovin, who plays for Monaco at the moment. He got some decent upgrades to balance, crossing, curve, dribbling, interceptions, long passing. His overall went from 79 up to 80. Positioning went up. Potential went from 85 to 86. Reactions went up, and there's a few other ones there as well. So this guy is 23 years old, a cam, and his current value is 18.5 million. Next up we have Marc Cucurella, who plays for Getafe on loan from Barcelona, 21 years old, a left midfielder, and his aggression went up. Overall went from 75 up to 76. Positioning went up, potential went from 85 up to 86, and reactions went up as well. Current value for him is 11 million. Next up we have Fabio Silva from Porto, 17 years old, a striker, very, very young. Finishing went up, overall went from 68 up to 70, positioning went up, potential went from 85 up to 86, reactions went up as well, shot power and volleys increased as well. Current value for him is 3.2 million. Next up we have Benoit Badiashile. I probably butchered his name, but anyway, we move on. He plays for Monaco, 18 years old, a centre back, and he got an upgrade to his aggression, ball control, composure, dribbling, interceptions, marking. His overall increased from 68 to 70, and his potential went from 85 up to 86. Current value for him is 3.1 million. So those were the players that I decided to showcase in this week's squad update. There is a lot more if you want to check it out, sofifa.com. And yeah, there is a lot of players that did get edited and upgraded and removed and stuff in this squad update. So it was fairly big. And considering that the new faces came out as well, it is one of those important updates that you guys should install as well. If you need something else to watch, make sure you hit the card in the middle. It'll take you to another FIFA 20 video of mine. I'll see you next time.